Portland Trailblazers. At small forward, Anfernee At shooting guard, Shaedon Sharpe. At center, DeAndre Ayton. At the other guard, Jrue Holiday. At the L forward position, Deni Avdija. The head coach of the visiting team is Chauncey Billups. Let's hear it for the starting five for the Boston Celtics. At the point, at 6'3", number 4, Anfernee Simons. At center, standing 7'2", number 8, Kristaps Porzingis. At guard, 6'4", number 9, At the small forward position, at 6'6", number 7, At forward, number 0,
Welcome everybody to another presentation of the NBA live on 2K Sports. This is Brian Anderson, Coach Stan Van Gundy, Hall of Famer Grant Hill, and Allie LaForce round out our broadcast crew for this one. So here's Portland's starting group. You've got Deni Avdija, Jrue Holiday out there with Sharpe. Then it's DeAndre Ayton, and it's Kamare in at the 3. And for the Celtics, the core of this team, Brown and Tatum in the front court. Derek White out there with Anfernee Simons. And it's Porzingis in at the 5, roaming the paint. Well, Grant, when you take a look at this matchup, both these teams feature an impressive backcourt.
No question, B.A. And I get the sense that bragging rights are on the line here. Everything you can do, I can do better. Expect some exciting back-and-forth action in this one.
Simons passes to Porzingis. Avdija against Tatum. Out of bounds. It'll be Portland's ball.
Trailblazers ball.
And here's Holiday. Outside Sharpe. Tipped. And that's out of bounds. Last touch by White.
He was all over that pass. That's a cautionary tale.
Yeah, and you know they're tracking the tips and deflections because that tells you who's affecting the game.
Pass to Holiday. Avdija outside. Inside. Ayton inside. Working on Porzingis. And out of bounds. Boston will have it. Stan, you look at the Celtics, as high-powered as they come offensively.
No question, Brian. They can space the floor at every position, and any one of their starters is able to give you 20 on a given night.
And from the sideline, let's catch up with Allie.
I was able to talk to Joe Mazzulla for a minute. How they'll go about defending DeAndre Ayton came up, and Coach told me once Ayton gets deep, it's too late. We need to find him early and not let him set up down low. Push him out to the line. That's a lot to be pushing around with Ayton being as big as they come, guys.
Allie, thank you. Here's Kamare. Ayton, a screen on Tatum. 6 to shoot. Here's Kamare. The 3 ball. Porzingis grabs the board. White against Avdia. Pass to Simons. Tatum from long range. Portland with a rebound. Holiday surveying the floor. Nice move. And he was fouled while in the act of shooting, so he'll take 2 free throws. And coach, a perennial all-defense performer, Jrue Holiday, fearsome at that end of the floor in particular.
Yeah, Brian, he's as good a defensive guard as there is. Great size and strength at the point guard spot. You combine that with his IQ and his competitive will, he is a problem on a nightly basis.
And he knocks down the first one.
You know, one thing you got to love about Jrue Holiday is he's a true two-way player in this league. He puts in a lot of work to make a big impact on both sides of the floor.
Holiday hits them both. And we're joined now by Shams Charania. He's calling in with a story. Good to have you, Shams. What's going on?
Hey, guys. Well, this year marked the loss of Blazers great, Hall of Famer, and truly a one-of-one, Bill Walton. One of the greatest big men this league has ever seen, known for his incredible passing skills. And off the court, he was just as dedicated to assisting others and making the world a better place. Guys, there is no question Bill Walton will be missed.
His legacy carries on. Okay, Shams, thank you. Now here's Holiday. Back to Sharp for 3. First shot won't go. Boston's gone 2 for 3 from outside the arc. Here's Tatum. Oh, Tatum slams it home.
And what a drive by Tatum, striking suddenly and slamming it in before the defense can get in his way.
Now, if you're just tuning in, we've played about 2.5 minutes here in the first. To the left side wing. Back to Sharp. White against Avdia. Pass to Ayton. Porzingis grabs the board. Boston leading by 6. Simons outside. Now here's Tatum. 3-pointer. That one misses. He's 1 for 3. And here's Ayton. Back to Sharp. Ayton with a screen. Again, the miss by the Trailblazers. And so it's Porzingis with it. He brings it up for the Celtics. Simons passes to Porzingis. Brown inside, guarded by Sharp. Brown, no good.
Oh, this is exactly the kind of opportunity you don't want to waste.
And he jams it after taking the nice feed on the run.
Yeah, what a finish. He used his bounce to throw it down over the taller defender.
Avdia against Tatum. Pass to Simons. White on the wing. He's scoreless. Outside, Brown. Nails it from 3.
Well, this is what Brown was looking for. He just needed the ball, and then instantly his shot was up.
They need something good to happen here.
Yeah, they've gone way too long without a score.
And Chauncey Billups calls timeout. We might see him looking to make some tweaks to the strategy here. So Boston going with almost an entire new group here. Cornette's checked in for Kristaps Porzingis. Horford comes in for Tatum. Hauser, he's checked in for White. And Pritchard is subbed in for Simons. And a new group getting ready for Portland. Williams is checked in for Avdia. Jeremy Grant comes in for Kamara. Rupert, he's checked in for Sharp. And it's Henderson in for Holiday. .156 left in the first quarter of the game. Williams finds Grant. Williams with the screen. Grant's shot is off. Boston leading by 7. To the paint. It's tipped. Stolen by Ayton.
Yeah, ripped physical guard. Henderson's competitive nature and drive to keep improving is really impressive.
And a closer look here at the scoring breakdown for Boston.
Well, the coaching staff's game plan is very clear. Move the ball on the perimeter and shoot the shots with no hesitation.
They've also been quick to set up their teammates, wasting no time making the extra pass for the open look.
The first one falls. Coach, it's such a difficult transition to the NBA. Scoot Henderson joins from the G League Ignite. What do you see in his game?
Well, look, I see a really talented guy who plays the game hard. What you've got to get improvement in are the two areas that most people have to improve in: shooting and decision-making.
One thing you can say about Boston, Grant, they know how to put a team together.
Yeah, the Celtics' consistency of winning is just impressive, both now and throughout their entire history. They are really the gold standard in this league, and it's mostly because of great draft picks and great trades.
All right, let's check in with Allie LaForce.
The Blazers have a lot to learn. Coach Chauncey Billups said, "I owe it to these players to coach them. The only way I know to do that is with honesty. It's always coming from a good place. Once you know that, then you take it with love. I lead with love. I don't lead with fear." Brian?
That's a Hall of Fame mentality, Allie. He's been in their shoes. Cashes in the 12-footer. Henderson's got 6.
This is when you know Henderson is feeling it, and it's why his guys always encourage him to fire away.
Horford, a screen on Henderson. Pass to Hauser. Oh, it's blocked by Williams. Now the Blazers on the move. Up ahead. And Ayton with the stuff.
You're sticking it to them inside. Good luck throwing Ayton off when he attacks like this.
Shot and game clock separated by 5. The drive by Brown.
The defense there doing whatever they can to protect the rim.
Williams, first personal foul. First team
It's his
foul.
first trip to the line.
At the line, Jaylen Brown. At the line for 2 shots.
He misses the free throw.
There are so many different roles Jaylen Brown can take on for his team.
Klingon, he's checked in for Portland. Sharp comes in for Banton. He hits the second from the line. There's 21 seconds left to play in the first. Grant attacks. Williams passes to Henderson. Williams with the screen. And Henderson with the basket on the assist from Williams. 9 points in the game.
Yeah, maybe outside Henderson's range, but the confidence showing through, and the defense not ready for him to shoot from that far out.
And still a close game as the first quarter comes to a close. Portland ahead, up by 3. And we'll get the second quarter underway on the other side of this break. And if you're just joining us, it's been a pretty even game through the first quarter. And let's quickly break down the game we've seen from Portland.
Oh, what I love was that first quarter was all about leaking out and capitalizing in transition.
Yeah, they gave the other team no time to breathe. Every time they got the ball, they were off to the races. And you see how effective this aggressive mindset can be.
And, Coach, it seems there's a move to cut out some of the cheap fouls in the game. This notion of, if you wouldn't call it on the playground, why do you call it in a game? You like to see where it's going?
Yeah, look, there's some times where I think we'd get a better game if the players do what they did in pickup games, Brian, and just called their own fouls. A lot of these cheap fouls would cease to exist I think there's just got to be a better recognition from referees on what really impacts a play and what doesn't.
Here are the 5 Portland has to start the second. Scoot and Sharp are the backcourt set. Williams is out there with Klingon, and it's Grant in at the 3. Here's Henderson, and Pritchard pulls it down. Celtics trail by 5. Pass to Tatum. And we played through the first minute here in the second. And it's good. Fought through contact, hit the shot, and will go to the line. You know, Grant, in interviews, Jason Tatum often seems understated and soft-spoken. But that's just him, isn't it?
That's true, B.A. Tatum has a quiet confidence about him. He doesn't feel the need to be loud or act out. He lets his work on the court do all the talking for him.
Boston making a switch here. Cornette's checked in.
Just money from the line. Tatum knows the importance of making free throws.
Well, the Trailblazers shooting around 50% in the game so far. Here in the second quarter, a little over a minute to play. Shots good by Henderson.
Getting enough shots in close to play inside out.
And it's Tatum with the ball for the Boston Celtics. Pass to Hauser. Horford, a screen on Sharp. Shot clock at 5. The 3. Portland grabs the miss. Williams has got 5 rebounds tonight. Henderson left side. And rejected. And it's going to be out of bounds. Portland will have another go. It's time to take a glance again at that superb block.
And this is exactly why he's out here, in order to block shots in tight games like this.
Porzingis is checked in for Boston. Simons comes in for Horford. Thibault, he's checked in for Portland. And Chauncey Billups calls time out here. He wants to give him a breather and talk things over.
Attention fans, now on the court is your fight squad. Get loud and loose.
Henderson, the pass to Grant. Here's Klingon. Oh, it's blocked by Porzingis.
Great play by Porzingis. Love seeing the zinger engaged on D.
Here's Pritchard. Hasn't gotten one to fall yet. Tatum passes to Porzingis. Porzingis putting the size to work.
Even after that serious knee injury, Porzingis with the spring to flush it.
The Trailblazers have gotten 2 of 5 shots to fall this second quarter. Henderson, the pass to Thibault. Here's Klingon, defended by Porzingis. Klingon. No luck. They battled on the glass, but they couldn't knock it down. The drive by Simons. And a foul called on the way up. So he'll take 2 from the free throw line.
Third personal foul.
Robert Williams picks up 1. Coach, you talk about guys who are always upping their game. How about Anfernee Simons?
Well, Brian, I feel like he's one of the truly under-the-radar scorers in this league. He's put in a lot of time and work, never satisfied with himself or his game, and he just keeps getting better.
He's off on the first. Well, the truth is, Stan, you lose a franchise legend like Damian Lillard, it really changes your identity.
Oh, it does, Brian. Their offense ran through Lillard for over a decade. Last year was almost a total reset. Now someone has to step up and be that guy.
And he sinks the second.
You know, I have to admire a guy like Anfernee Simons. Early in his career, he was seen as undersized, but with his skill and pure athleticism, he balances the scales against bigger players, and he's become a ferocious scorer.
Williams passes to Walker. Portland again missing.
And you never want to give a shooter like him a clean look.
Outside White. Pass to Brown. They kick it out to Porzingis. Just 4 to shoot. What a finish from Porzingis.
One of the tallest guys in the league. Give Porzingis the ball there and just let him work.
Henderson outside. Avdia, screen on Tatum. Goes up on the baseline. Henderson misses.
Yeah, well, that's a shot the defense is probably going to let him keep taking.
Simons passes to Brown. Outside Tatum. Simons outside from behind the arc. That falls. Nice feed that time from Tatum. Tatum's got 3 assists now in this one.
Coming into the league, putting up points was no problem for Tatum, but now he's creating scoring opportunities for others.
And Chauncey Billups calls timeout. He wants a few moments to regroup with his players. Portland making a switch here.
Let's hear it for all the dancers. Substitution on the court.
.156 left in the second period. Outside Holiday. Nice start for him, sinking his first shot.
Easy look when the defender isn't fighting over the screen.
Yeah, it's certainly worth it to disrupt the offense. Coaches notice that extra effort.
Porzingis misses. Portland trailing here. To the middle. Here's Avdia. Oh, a dunk and a foul! A powerhouse move! He's got a chance for one more at the line. That one on White. He's getting his first free throw attempt of the game here.
For Portland, Denny Avdia at the line for 1.
Well, Stan, was a 5-time All-Star. Chauncey Billups, just 1 year as an assistant before becoming a head coach.
Yeah, but Brian, Chauncey Billups was a guy that even when he was a player and then as a broadcaster, always thought like a head coach.
Outside White, 6 on the shot clock. The 3 is up. Rebound by the Trailblazers. 1:05 left in the first half. Avdia. It's hauled in by White. And White has got the ball here for the Celtics. Ooh, here's White on the drive. He's now 1 for 2 with that bucket.
Well, when you have a scorer as skilled as he is, you do everything you can to get him the looks he needs.
Avdia outside. Back to Holiday. Over Simons. The shot by Holiday, no good.
Well, the analytics don't like it, but if the defense is giving it up, I like that shot selection despite the miss.
And for the Trailblazers, they're shooting around 29% in quarter number 2. Brown with the block.
Great positioning and timing by Brown, using his athleticism to come away with the rejection.
Simons against Holiday. Pass to Horford. Outside White. From deep. No luck on that one. And the first half comes to an end. We've got a close game going here. Celtics out in front, up by 1. And we'll be right back after halftime to get the third quarter underway.
24. Fans, please direct your attention to center court and get ready for the fan half-court shot. Drums, please. Their measurement of the shot. Nice try, it's all good. Let's hear it for our contestants.
And in that first half, we saw a pretty tight battle. We'll soon find out what sort of adjustments were discussed during halftime. You look at Scoot Henderson. What a contribution.
I like how they control the tempo and play to his strengths.
Yeah, he's found his spots, been patient with his shot selection, and it's paid off for himself and the team.
Second half of basketball is upon us, and we may be in for an exciting finish based on how close of a game we've seen so far. The two Jays, Brown at the 3 and Tatum at the 4. Anfernee Simons out there with Derek White. And it's Porzingis in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. And that's the group for Joe Mazzulla as we begin the second half. Simons against Holiday. They grab their own miss. Up again. Great positioning on the putback. And the Trailblazers lead by 1.
I mean, come on, a 7-footer with a 7'5" wingspan. Ayton beats everyone to the ball and converts easily.
Tatum! Money from deep! And Coach, you've been lauded by some of your former players for your pregame preparation. I've seen it myself in the broadcasting world.
Well, I've also been cursed by some of those players for my pregame walkthroughs, Brian. People thought they were way too long, but I just wanted to be as prepared as possible and was one that always believed I'd rather do too much than too little. Well, those go down for him in his sleep.
Blazers trail by 5. They're searching for a way to score.
Yeah, buckets have been very tough to come by.
It's Sharp on the wing. No good from outside. Boston has gone 2 for 2 from deep here in the third. And here's Brown for 3. And so the ball out of bounds. Ayton touched it last.
Boston ball.
Third quarter here, over a minute and a half into it. Portland has gotten nothing to fall from outside in this third quarter. Here's Holiday. And he's going to the line for 2. The official saw contact while he was going up.
I mean, just forcing the issue. Jrue gets a pair at the line.
And this will be his second trip to the free throw line.
Jrue Holiday, 2 shots.
And he drops a first. Holiday hits them both.
I'm sure they don't want to send him to the line. That has to be in their scouting report.
2 minutes into the second half of play now. Tatum passes to White. Back to Tatum. 5 to shoot. Off target from three-point range.
Well, the defense catches a break there. You expect him to make those.
Oh, and the jam by Ayton.
Impressive one-hand slam right there, B.A.
Man, as long as he's confident about it, I'm good with it. Maybe use 2 hands next time. He knows where he is. Now here's Brown. Pass to Simons. Over Holiday. And all around the rim that time before dropping. Simons got 12 points in the game. Here's Holiday. He has 6. Off the outside. Back to Holiday. Clock keeps going. 3 minutes into the second half now. And down it goes. 2 points.
Yeah, good execution in close. Holiday likes mixing things up and finishing from this area.
Simons outside. Back to Tatum. Simons outside. They kick it out to Porzingis. Yes! Kristaps showing some range.
Here in the second half, they're really focused on stretching the floor.
Yeah, and where has the defense been? They've been content to let them fire away. They've got to close out to the arc.
And Chauncey Billups calls timeout. Coach wants to speak to his guys, maybe alter some of the game plan. Boston making a switch here. Pritchard's checked in.
Great Celtics fans, give it up once again for Celtics Entertainment.
Just over 3.5 minutes through the third. Pass to Graham. Shoots over Brown. Portland again missing.
When the defense is playing off you like that, you want to be able to convert. But that time, he just couldn't get it done.
Now here's Tatum. Shot clock at 6. Tatum barreling in. Oh, Tatum slams it home.
The speed of Tatum's drive makes it so tough to defend. You just don't get a chance to stop him.
Pass to Ayton. Grant against Brown. Ayton, a screen on Brown. Back to Ayton. Second chance shot. Porzingis grabs the board. Porzingis has got rebound number 5 here tonight. Outside, Brown. A minute 22 left in the third quarter. Pulls it in from the elbow. Here's Porzingis. Operating inside. Porzingis.
I love whenever Porzingis hits the offensive boards. He has the height needed to hurt defenses in this regard.
Ayton, a screen on Tatum. To the inside. Shot to stop the run. And Ayton with the stuff.
Oh, yeah. That'll do it.
Wow, an emphatic two-handed slam. Tatum against Williams. Tatum draws the double. Here's Porzingis. Oh, it's Porzingis with the jam.
He's been a piece of the puzzle tonight, but it's a team effort. Everyone's contributing to this lead.
There's 49 seconds left to play in the third quarter here. Boy, they'd love if anyone could get a bucket.
Yeah, their offense has been grinding to a halt.
Here's Ayton. That one is off. Good D by Porzingis. Celtics lead by 8. Here's Pritchard. Yet to see a basket. There's Tatum with the 3. And Ayton pulls it down. Ayton's got 6 rebounds in the game. Brown against Henderson. The kick out to Williams. Pass to Ayton. Grant outside. And it's good for 2.
Well, that's easy pickings for him. Unless the defense is all over him, he'll take that all day long. Well, nice execution off the inbound. They caught the defense napping on the perimeter.
And so it's the Boston Celtics. They have a nice 9-point cushion at the end of the quarter. They're communicating well and stringing together stops. We're coming right back. Don't go anywhere. And while we have a chance, let's go to our State Farm assist of the game.
You talk about painting a magnificent picture with that dime. Just a great decision and a perfect delivery.
Wow, that was an absolute masterpiece of an assist. He knew exactly when to deliver the ball, and it made for a beautiful score.
It's the fourth quarter time, fans.
And this is it. Glad to have you along for this fourth quarter. The Celtics with the lead. And on the floor for Portland here in the fourth. We've got Klingon, Walker out there with Williams. Then it's Jeremy Grant, and it's Henderson in at the 1. Here's Pritchard. Horford, a screen on Henderson. Pass to Hauser, puts up a 3. Buries it from 3. Hauser's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3.
Easy look when the defender isn't fighting over the screen.
Yeah, it's certainly worth it to disrupt the offense. Coaches notice that extra effort.
Now here's Henderson. The kick out to Williams. Walker passes to Williams. And looks like an illegal pick was set. That gets the ref's attention.
The screener was leaning a bit right there. His feet may not have been planted. Pretty obvious call by the officials.
Look, you can get away with a lot in terms of screens today. You can't make it that obvious.
Tatum against Walker. Pass to Cornet. Horford outside. Here's Pritchard. The 3. It's hauled in by the Trailblazers. Williams has got 6 rebounds now in the game. Walker passes to Grant. Good, and it's Walker who picks up the assist.
The inside defense gets right up on Grant, but he stays cool and finds a way through to his finish.
Tatum feeling it out a bit. Fires from deep. Pritchard gets it to go. Pritchard's gotten himself on the board with a 3 there.
And he's not taking it easy on them at all. I mean, we all know he's going to keep pouring it on.
And defensively, that kind of effort is just not going to cut it.
Now here's Henderson. Here's Klingon. And he goes in for the dunk.
First, Klingon screens the defender out of the play and then capitalizes.
Outside Tatum. We're about 2 minutes into the fourth here. Pritchard, the pass to Horford. Pass to Tatum. There's the drive. Rebound by the Trailblazers. Williams has got rebound number 7 tonight. Grant. Oh, Grant throws it down.
And this is why you can't let Grant get deep inside, or else he'll dunk all over you.
Here's Hauser. This one for 3. Walker pulls down the board.
And just terrible defense. I don't know how he missed that shot.
Back to Williams. Pass to Henderson. Grant the screen. Shot from the wing. Horford pulls it in.
Well, if you have the space, you have to take that shot. He missed it, but he's trying to keep the defense honest.
Here's Pritchard. Tatum passes to Horford. Horford gets it done inside. Well, Stan, in this league, the opportunity always exists to make a name for yourself.
It certainly does, Brian. And guys that maybe haven't gotten their opportunity, if they're ready when they get it, then they're going to burst onto the scene, and they'll no longer be under the radar guys. Look at a guy like Jalen Brunson, second-round pick, bench guy in Dallas for a long time, and then now an all-star.
A big group substitution here for Boston. Kristaps Porzingis, he's checked in for Cornette. Jaylen Brown comes in for Horford. Derek White's checked in for Hauser. And Simon has subbed in for Pritchard. A chance here to catch up with Allie from the sideline.
Guys, over the last break, I listened to Chauncey Billups address the team. He encouraged his guys to not hold back, saying, we can do this, but it's on us. We've got to go out there and be aggressive. So that's the plan coming out of the huddle. Back to you.
Okay, thanks, Allie. And Ayton gets it to go.
Love seeing Ayton take these mid-range jumpers. He realizes guys at his position have to hit these kind of shots.
A bit under 3.5 minutes have passed here in the fourth. Pass to Tatum. Tatum draws the double. Avdia with a steal. Outside Holiday. And it's going to be a 3-second call.
It's so easy to get frustrated when you make mistakes, but you have to keep battling.
Yeah, it's definitely a momentum shifter, but it's time to refocus, make smart decisions, and start fighting their way back.
And so Brown will bring it up for Boston. Pass to Simons. Tatum with a screen. Fires it. And it's good. Off the back of the rim and in. And the Celtics lead by 11.
And just executing at a high level. I mean, taking what the defense allows and putting in the work.
Yeah, come on. They're just having their way out there and continuing to press the advantage.
Here's Sharp. Hauled in by Brown. Celtics lead by 11. Simons outside. Fires for three. Here's Tatum. Ayton with the defensive effort.
Well, that's the look he wanted, but the defense doing just enough to impact that shot.
A physical guard who plays with no fear. Holiday doesn't get to the line as often as you think.
And a moment to look at the scoring approach in terms of where the points are coming from here for Boston.
Well, they've been absolutely on fire from deep, and until the defense offers more resistance, the coaches are going to keep encouraging them to let it fly.
Yeah, and their team-first approach is another thing you have to like. And they've had great ball movement and are getting a lot of points off assists.
Holiday hits them both. There's a minute 40 left to play in the fourth. The Celtics have gotten 4 of 9 shots to go in during this fourth quarter. Brown in the high post. The kick out to White. Takes a three. And a great assist by Brown as that one goes in.
They're really employing a deep range initiative here in the fourth, and it's working.
Yeah, it's always a little risky to lean this hard on the three-point shot. But when you're knocking them down, you might as well keep riding.
Pass to Ayton. Now Avdia. Just 5 to shoot. Lets it go from 11. And that one hits the back iron. Grant, wouldn't be a bad idea here to slow it down.
Yeah, coach is definitely looking for patience and execution. Well, with a comeback out of range, we can put a bow on this one. Good performance for the Celtics.
Man, they were in a groove from long range tonight.
Yeah, they were able to find space, and they were ready to let it fly the moment they saw an opening.
And of all the highlights and performances we've seen here tonight, the one thing that stands out is what an unbelievable night it's been for Anfernee Simons.
Well, offensively, they needed him to be aggressive, and he delivered. What a game.
Now here's White. 1 second separating the shot clock and the game clock. Pass to Simons. There's the three. Portland with a rebound. So So it's Boston with the W. Even early on in this game, they appeared happy to be playing at home.
And it makes a huge difference. Once they started to get into a groove, you never really felt like they wouldn't come out on top.
All right, now let's check in with Allie LaForce. Allie, what do you have?
Thank you. I'm here with Jason Tatum. And Jason, congratulations on the win. What did you like about this team's performance tonight?
Our toughness. And, we figuring it out. It's early, but we taking it game by game, quarter by quarter, and everybody contributing. So, I liked it.
Thanks, Jason.
Allie, thank you as always. And that's going to do it tonight, folks, for our broadcast. With Grant Hill, Stan Van Gundy, and Allie LaForce, this is Brian Anderson saying thanks for watching the NBA on 2K Sports. And let's reveal our player of the game, Anfernee Simons.